Alright guys, so today we're going to be setting up a Rockford Fosgate P400X4. Just looking at the instructions, it's pretty easy, but decided, hey, let's make a YouTube video. So first thing you want to do is, it says in the instructions, is step 1, disconnect all your speaker wires. Before you do this, make sure you've labeled them. See, I've got mine, I've got one that's blank, one with a black piece of tape, one with 2 black pieces of tape, and one with a set of silver pieces of tape. If you take a look here, I've written them down, so that way, when I disconnect these speaker wires, I know exactly what's going on. So from this point, all we're doing is quickly going along here, disconnecting our speaker wires. As I'm doing this, as you can see, the next step is to go onto the source of the head unit and make sure you set the source volume at 0. You want to take your bass and your treble and you want to go flat with it, meaning go 0. So if you're wondering, oh, well, I can't set that or something like that, go to your custom EQ and basically set it all to 0. So go to custom and make sure it's all flat. So this way you can do your adjustments with the CD afterwards. Again, this is completely different for different decks. Usually you have to hit the menu button, or if you don't have a menu button or setup button on your deck, like this one has a menu. If yours doesn't, you just have a big control knob. Click and hold the control knob in and it'll probably pop up with saying function. If you move it over, it'll say audio. That's for most Pioneer decks and stuff like that. So got all my speaker wires out. I'm gonna go get started on the deck and then I'll show you. So first thing we want to do is make sure our volume is on 0. Can't probably see that. There we go. If I go like this, volume's on 0. Hit menu, set sound, and then I'm just gonna go through here. Sorry again for the buzz. I got my HPFs already set, which is fine, but I want to, oh yeah, if you have like loudness or anything, make sure that's turned off, or anything like that, rear bass enhancer, crap like that. Always like to make sure. There, perfect. And after we do that, perfect. Fader should be zeroed, yes, center. And let's go to EQ settings. I haven't really set any of the hertz, but if you click on here, see how it says 0? Go through every one of these, make sure it says 0. If you have a touchscreen deck, well, just make sure it's flat lined right across the center in custom mode. And again, make sure you're in custom mode. You don't want to be in, like, I don't know, space mode or gravity. There's like tons of different modes for different decks. Just make sure you're on custom and it's all flat lined. After that, stay tuned for the next.
Follow you on YouTube, huh?
Alright, so the next thing you're going to want to do is, if you take a look here, we have our input sources and stuff all set on here. I've turned my gains and stuff, which don't really matter at this point, down completely, or I have them at RMS, but this won't affect anything anyway, because what we're going to do is see what the max input volume is on your deck that you want to have. So check this out. We're going to put this back. Sorry, got to press in on this one. Once that's back, if you take a look here, we've got, it's going to tell you to go to track 5 if you're doing a sub amp or monoblock, and for a 4-channel amp you're going to go to track 7. From there you're going to be, you have to make sure you've set your crossover. I always like to set my crossovers at 80. It's always been a good one for me. I'd turn this one off for a sec, but set your crossover for 80. Make sure you have the crossover off on the deck if you're doing this, and from there all we're going to do is put this in, and I'm going to go to the 1K hertz one right here, and then just all you're going to do is, when that's playing, slowly turn the volume up on here and watch this input signal light, which is right beside your RCAs. As soon as that starts going off, that'll tell you when the deck itself is sending or is clipping. It's too high power for the deck. So do that. Just put the disc in. I don't want to play it over because in case it's copyright material. You're just going to put it in, like I said, put it on track 7. As it's on track 7, watch the light here as you're turning up the volume. If you see this light start going, decrease the volume until that light goes out, okay? So, just do that. Alright, so as you can see, I'm currently on track 7. I've got my volume right here, and I'm looking at that light. Watch that light down there as I'm turning up the volume. Boom, see how it came on? Now I'm going to decrease my volume, by 1. We'll see if it comes back. No, it's off. If I go up one, light goes on. Down one volume, it goes off. So that's my max volume. Now you might wonder, what the heck is the point of doing that? Well, now if you have a deck where you can set the max volume that you want it to ever go, that's what you want to set the volume at. So if you can lock in your volume, lock it in there so that way you know you're not going to be clipping. All right, and then now we'll set our gains. Gains are pretty easy. Like I said, you can, if you want to, what I usually do is I set them at RMS if my speakers match up to the RMS. So if I got a 150 watt RMS amp per channel, what I would be doing is setting it up so that way my speakers, if they're 150 watt RMS, I'd set them at that and then listen for clipping, which of course if you've done audio for a while, you can usually hear it when it's clipping at those higher notes. It's not a very clean sound, but that's how you set your maximum input volume on your deck, and you can find out how you can find it through here. Now you reconnect all your speakers and you go from there. Cool, I hope this video helped you out. Like the video if it did, subscribe for more.